I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Chekesha Kay Ellis, and I want to thank Freeholder Hobson, Freeholder Nicholson, Mayor Stephen Benowitz, Charles Brenson, Bishop Charles Brenson. Thank you guys for coming out, having me here today. So I just want to share my story and let you guys know what I'm doing in the communities, and I just want to stay intact with everyone. And so I'm a Williamsboro resident, and I am in long-term recovery from active opioid addiction. And I've been clean for 9 years. I've been sober for 9 years, this August the 8th, 2019. Thank you so much. And so I'm so honored to be here today, and I'm doing so much in the counties, in Burlington County, Camden County, Philadelphia County, Delaware County, all the different counties in different states. And since I've been in recovery from opioid addiction, I found my passion in going through some of the worst things in my life, which was a knee injury in 2001. I found myself getting a knee surgery and being prescribed 120 Lorcet hydrocodone, and I did not know what they were. I did not hear anything about them. This was before the opioid epidemic became an epidemic. So I kind of slipped through the cracks. I started taking these pills after a surgery, and I loved them. I absolutely loved them. And I was 27 years old. I'll be 48 in December. I know I look pretty young for my age. A lot of people don't believe my age. But at the end of the day, I skated through my whole life without peer pressure. I wasn't worried about what other people did. I did what I wanted to do. But guess what? At 27, the addiction was born. And now, being in recovery for 9 years, as I look back, I realized that I was a woman that was predisposed to love these pills because of my last name being Ellis. I love these pills, and my addiction lasted for 9 years. In 2009, I went deaf. I started going deaf from the opioids, and I was taking a massive amount of them. I was doctor shopping. I was a diversion patient. I was in pharmacies. My name was being tagged and flagged in pharmacies all over the country. Literally, not in the country, but all of the states, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Atlanta. Like, people were just like, she's getting the same medication at all these pharmacies. So this was my life for 9 years, and I know a lot of people that look like us in the community are facing this every day, but they don't have people to advocate for them. So I lost my hearing in an 8-month period of time in 2009. In 8 months, I was fully deaf. I started like losing my hearing and thinking it was an ear infection, but I was going fully deaf and did not know that at some point I would be fully deaf. I lost my hearing, and I continued to abuse drugs. I continued to abuse Lorcet hydrocodone. I was on a panel at Penn State University yesterday, and I spoke to some kids there, and I told them that you can think that your life is great and that everything is wonderful, and you can lose things and you can still want the drug. You can lose your kids, your mom, you can lose family members, your husband, your job, your car. You can't pay your bills. You are totally dysfunctional, and you will think that your life is okay. This was my life for 9 years, a whole decade taken away. 2010 came, and guess what? I found the strength and higher being to get clean, and I have been living in long-term recovery since then. I am a preacher's kid as well, and my dad passed away in 2017, and guess what? The best part about my story is that he saw me clean for 7 years before he died, and he was rooting me on and praying for me, and I had churches all over the states praying for me because my dad was connected to the Churches of Christ written in heaven. And so I was a woman that grew up in church that still became someone addicted. So what my passion is now is that I want to help people. I am helping so many families in Burlington County. I'm working with different programs, and at some point I'll be working with the prosecutor's office. They reached out to me, and I just want to be a beacon of hope for people, because people are losing hope in our communities, and I'm the face of the black community that is suffering and struggling with substance use disorder. And we don't really hear a lot about the Black community, but I represent millions of Americans in different communities all over the country that is struggling with substance use disorder. So that is what I met with Ms. Hobson. We bonded, we met a few times, and I said to her, I would be honored to work with you guys to figure out solutions in the community, what I can do to share my story and help other people dealing with substance use disorder. The most powerful part about my story is I heard my son's voice for the first time when he was 2 years old.
Wow.
I mean, I was deaf the whole time that he was a baby. And basically my mom, she was using a tape recorder and recording his voice and his first words and his cooing and all that stuff when he was 1. And then one day I came back from getting my surgery at the University Hospital in Newark, New Jersey. I went home in a Uber because I was scared to drive. I was so nervous that I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be able to hear my son's voice today. I went home, my nephew was holding my son, and I walked in the house and I was like, Houston. My son's name is Houston. It's spelled with a Y, H-Y-U-S-T-O-N, like Whitney Houston. I named him after her because I loved her when she passed away. So I picked him up and I said, Houston, Mommy loves you. And he wasn't saying nothing. I was like, Houston, talk, say something. He was like, Bubbles, Bubbles. And I was like, oh my God. It was an amazing moment. That was my one of my second aha moments. But so I just want to be here for the freeholders, work with them hand in hand, and be a beacon of hope and help other people in the communities that are struggling with substance use disorder, especially in the Black communities too. So I thank you guys for having me come out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.